Hey, I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite, super effective multisensory phonics activities for kindergartners. Everything you're going to see in this video that's printable anyway is going to be yours for free. I'm going to include a link so that you can grab all of this and use this with your kindergarten students. Before we get into it though, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do that now, and then also hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I post a brand new video about teaching literacy in K2. I also give a lot of freebies, so make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell. Okay, let's get into the activities. Actually, before we do that, I have a question for you. When you think of multisensory activities, especially for kindergarten students, do you automatically think of messy things like shaving cream or who knows what else? If messy things come to mind for you, in the comments right now, I just want you to put the word messy. If you think multisensory equals messy. So I gotta tell you, that's actually what I used to think. When I thought of multisensory, I thought of like, okay, let's bust out the shaving cream, and like that stuff can be fun to do, and I do it once in a while. But what I really needed was multisensory activities that can be cleaned up easily so that we could use them on a regular basis, because multisensory activities are great for students with special needs, but they're also great for all learners, and they're fun. So there's just so many, fortunately, multisensory activities out there that don't require a ton of mess, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in the video. Okay, so let's get into some of these. And again, these are going to be totally free. I will include a link so that you can download them and grab them and use them yourself. Okay, so we will start with the alphabet cards. Now, I laminated these and they are on cardstock too, so they're a little bit sturdier because the purpose of these is to be reused over and over again. Now, when you download the freebie, you could just like print off each sheet. You don't even have to cut it out and then put it in a page protector if you don't want to laminate. Totally up to you, but you want these to be reused many times, and they may be reused by more than one student. So what I would do is get the whole alphabet ready, and then I would, or you could just, start with whatever letter you're working on, and I model how to use these. So the first part is for them to trace this letter here. So you can hopefully see there's like, I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's a little finger and then a speech bubble to tell them what to do. So for this, they would go A, 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 A. So they just say the letter name over and over. You could also just have them say A, whatever you want to do. But what makes it multisensory is that they're tracing and they're saying the letter name. Now down here, they're going to trace again, but this time they're going to trace with a dry erase marker. So they're also going to say, but this time it's the letter sound. You could say ah, ah, ah. So you just have them say it over and over again while they're tracing. I kind of missed the bottom line there, but you get what I mean. So another thing you could do to make it multisensory is to have them trace with their finger and then with the marker while saying A says ah, A says ah. Again, what makes it multisensory is just the tracing and the saying. So however you want to do this is fine. But then of course there's a little direction. So you do want to have them trace with their finger, and then you want to have them trace with the marker. You would do this with letters that you've already taught, so the kids would know how to form them correctly and they would know the letter name and the sound. So this is a really simple multisensory activity. Again, this is going to be in that freebie that I will include with this video. Okay, now let's move on to letter dotting. So this is what it would look like, partially finished. In the freebie, you're gonna see these, and what you would do is you would take just like a paper plate and you would put like some tempera paint or something, I don't know what you call it, but just paint that's not watercolor, right? Washable though, washable is important. And then you would give the kids Q-tips. I love this because they get to paint, but it doesn't make a huge mess. So with the Q-tip, they would put it in the paint on the paper plate and then they would dot, okay? And what makes this multisensory is you need for them to say the letter name and or sound at least a couple times. You could have them say it every time, ah, 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 ah. That might drive them and you crazy, but in order to have it be multisensory, they need to at least one time say, ah, or A says ah, or the name of the letter. You can also have them color. And then you just have them do it kind of like piece by piece. You could even cut it out and they just do one strip at a time, but I found that it's fun to just kind of like work your way through the alphabet. And again, you would want them to know how to form each letter before you do that. So in a way, it's almost like a review. Okay, so again, that's in the freebie. And then of course in kindergarten, the alphabet is not the only phonics skill that you're working on throughout the year. Many kids will also be ready to read and write CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant words. So these strips, I love these for small group, but they can do them, you know, for independent work as well. And again, these are in the freebie too, so make sure you grab it. So I don't know how well you can see this, but like this is a mop. So they say mop, and then they say ah, p. And they can do it again, ah, p. And then in those boxes, they are gonna write ah, p. So this is multisensory, and it also just kind of slows them down in segmenting and then writing. Because sometimes, you know, you'll have kids that miss sounds or whatever. And I just have like a bunch of CVC word ones for these. And if you laminate them, then of course you can just erase them afterwards and have other kids use them. So those are some multisensory ideas that I have for free, but I also want to show you a couple of other options. One thing that I like to do is have my kids trace and say letters, and you could also do like short high frequency words too in sand. Now I don't want to dump this, but I'm trying to show you. So I've got like colored sand in here, and this is just a plastic pencil box. You want one that doesn't have any like holes or things that are going to fall through. You could do this in paper plates too, and then the kids just like stack them on top of each other. But like, let's say we're practicing the letter S. S says S. So we're tracing and we're saying the letter. I kind of dumped the sand, but you make the letter and then you trace, say the name, say the sound, whatever. It's using more than one sense, and that's what makes it multisensory. Now, honestly, you could keep it even simpler than that. You technically don't need any materials to do multisensory, which might sound a little bit weird because, again, I know a lot of us have the connotation of like multisensory equals a lot of stuff or messy stuff, but you can do air writing and you can do table writing. So all you would do for this is have the kids, like for air writing, extend their arm, 2 fingers. There's some research that shows that when we use our larger muscles, rather than just like our smaller muscles in writing, larger muscles help promote that muscle memory. So you can have them like, okay, ask them what says and then they trace with their whole arm, M says Then you say, okay, what says eh? Tricky short E sound, that's why I'm showing you with my mouth. Then they say E says eh. Now they can do it on the table, they can do it on the rug, right? What says Z? Z says Z. On the table, you could have them do 2 fingers, you could have them do 1 finger, whatever you want to do. But my point is just that multisensory is very effective, but it doesn't have to be complex. Again, you can get all of this stuff for free. You can get some colored sand pretty inexpensively. Air is free for air writing, right? And then you probably have tables, rugs, different textures in the classroom that they can feel while they're writing and saying things. But again, it's the combination of tracing and saying something that makes it multisensory. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like tracing and saying something. It's just incorporating more than one of the senses. And all of these activities just happen to incorporate tracing and saying. All right, so make sure to grab these freebies. Again, you get the whole alphabet. I didn't print all of it out here to show you, but you get the whole alphabet for the Paint Daughters. You get a bunch of CVC words and then all of these alphabet cards. So I hope you enjoy these. I hope you have fun with your kiddos. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.